In the early 1400s, China built the largest fleet the world had ever seen. Some of its ships were longer than a modern football field. They crossed the Indian Ocean decades before Europe dared to try. And then the court ended the voyages. Shipyards were dismantled, sails were burned, records erased. Within 2 centuries, global power had shifted. The question isn't how China fell behind. The question is why it chose to stop. After the voyages began, the fleet expanded to hundreds of ships. Some carried thousands of sailors. Others carried cavalry horses, silk, porcelain, diplomats. They reached India, Arabia, East Africa. Chinese maps recorded ports thousands of miles away. Their ships used compasses, stern-post rudders, and watertight bulkheads. For a moment, no navy on Earth could match them. But inside the Imperial court, the voyagers had enemies. The expeditions were led by powerful court eunuchs. They commanded fleets larger than any navy on Earth, and that made some officials uneasy. Merchants were growing rich, admirals were gaining loyalty, and influence inside a palace is never harmless. In 1433, the voyages stopped. No storm forced it. No invasion demanded it. The empire chose it. Shipyards were ordered dismantled. Construction plans were archived. Ocean trade was restricted. Private shipbuilding was outlawed. And over time, the knowledge faded. The order didn't arrive like a suggestion. It arrived like a verdict. Build smaller ships, stay near the coast, and dismantle the rest. Imagine being the man ordered to destroy the greatest machine your country ever built. Not because it failed, but because it worked. That's the kind of decision that doesn't feel like collapse. It feels like control, until the world moves without you. At first, nothing seemed different. Trade still moved along established routes. Silk and porcelain continued to flow outward. But the fleets were no longer expanding. No new massive expeditions were launched. No distant ports were added to imperial maps. Innovation slowed quietly. And momentum is difficult to rebuild once lost. The world beyond China did not pause. While China stabilized, Europe experimented. Smaller ships, faster designs, more aggressive routes. They pushed along Africa's coast. They crossed the Atlantic. They kept building. They kept adapting. And over time, the balance shifted west. Not from one battle, not from one invasion, but from relentless motion. From the court's perspective, the decision made sense. The northern border demanded attention. Nomadic threats had not disappeared. Internal stability mattered more than distant glory. Massive fleets were expensive, and they did not conquer territory. They projected power, but brought little direct return. To cautious officials, withdrawal looked responsible. It reduced risk, it conserved resources, it preserved control. But stability carries hidden costs. When shipyards stopped expanding, expertise stopped spreading. Fewer navigators trained for deep ocean voyages. Fewer maps were revised with new horizons. Trade did not disappear. It moved beyond imperial oversight. Knowledge fades quietly. Momentum fades faster. And rebuilding it takes generations. For decades, the decision seemed harmless. China remained powerful. Its economy was vast. Its population immense. But the oceans were rewriting the world. Trade routes shifted west. Naval warfare evolved. New empires rose on maritime power, and the center of gravity moved. Not because China collapsed, but because it stopped expanding. The ocean does not reward stillness, it rewards motion.